So in conclusion, if we could both to actually try to answer in some way that, as a scholar, you would broadly try to address the question of how to think about Iran. But I think on the Green Revolution part, which someone pointed out too, I think it's very important because certainly a lot of people in this room, whether people have any ties to Iran or not, are looking at what has happened in the Arab world in the last year with a great sense of a missed opportunity for Iran. That a youthful movement for change, for legitimacy, for accountability also took place in Iran and was crushed. What is the lesson there for Iran's future, and what does it mean about how Iran will interact with the world?
Before I do that, thank you, Nader, because I think that really this is a critical question that will most likely affect the future of the mullah's regime in Iran. But before I do that, I mean, the question is options. We're talking about options. I mean, we have spent the last 1.5 hours. We have not mentioned the fact, how about a nuclear-free zone in the Middle East? I mean, it's an option mark, right? We have not discussed it.
It's a very unlikely one.
I mean, no, this is not polemical. This is serious stuff. I mean, this is, since we're talking about a nuclear-free zone in the Middle East and the United States, since Barack Obama is so much, gets emotional, I think he should have, and I like Barack Obama. I voted for Barack Obama, and I will vote for him in the, but I think it's a real option. The second option, I mean, also, I mean, I am an academic. I can say whatever I want, Mark, and I can own my blunders. So let's think the unthinkable. Let's think the unthinkable. So what if Iran becomes nuclear? The world probably won't dramatically change. Yes, you'll have a nuclear race in the Middle East. Well, you already have a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, a few months ago, signed one of the biggest arms deals with the United States in the history of the United States. Almost, between $65 and $100 billion in the next 15 years. That's Saudi Arabia. These are options. I mean, we need to, no. I mean, these are not polemical questions. General Dempsey, the highest American commander, when he was asked about, whether Iranian leaders are rational players, what did he say? We think that Iranian leaders are rational players, regionally and internationally. I don't think he said anything original. They are rational players. We don't like them because they are oppressing their people, and I don't think they bankrupted Iran. They really turned Iran from a pivotal state into a bankrupt state, culturally, politically, economically. But the reality is they are rational. So what if Iran becomes a nuclear? Roxanne mentioned a critical point about the deficit trust, which really lies at the heart of the misunderstanding between the Western powers, the United States. But more importantly, what Danny also really tried to, flesh out, is that the relationship, the hostility relationship, has become institutionalized. This is an institution for the last, since the late in particular 1980. It is institutionalized, and that's why the idea that Barack Obama is not just about the right, that's not the, Barack Obama represents more continuity. Barack Obama could not take on the debates and the pressure in the United States, not because he buys the neoconservative. The reality is you have an institutionalized relationship. And what worries me a great deal, really, and I don't like the mullahs, and I do hope, and I really believe, I'm going to come back to the point that the Iranians will own their future sooner rather than later, is that the, demonization of Iran in the West. That has taken place. The public enemy number one. We have built Iran into this evil type of state. And what worries me a great deal, because if history serves as is that it's easy to basically sow the seeds. Because once you demonize a state, once you say Iran is evil, it's very easy to, as we know from, recent history, to lay the grounds for, military adventures. And that's why even Barack Obama forced himself into a bind on Iran by saying, it's ironic, in the first meeting, Danny, between Barack Obama and Benjamin Netanyahu, Barack Obama refused to discuss the Iranian. He said, it's the Palestinian-Israeli peace process. Once we do that, we undermine the ability of the mullahs to basically infiltrate. That's in the last meeting. Guess what? Palestine was not even mentioned. And this tells you about the institutional continuity. And this is really real. How do how do you basically cut the umbilical cord in terms of this hate relationship? The final point about, I think the reason why that the mullah's regime is doomed, literally doomed, not only because it has failed to deliver the goods, not only because the romance with the vilayat al-faqih, the rule of the cleric, basically Iranians know it's vacuous, but because there is a paradigm shift in the region and in Iran itself. A major paradigm shift, a shift from ideology, a shift from foreign policy, a post-ideological paradigm, focus on local issues, on governance, on dignity, bread and butter, empowerment. And this, the reality is the whole political emancipation started all in Iran. That's the irony about how dynamic Iranian civil society is, Green Movement, 2009. And that's itself a testament to the fact that, I mean, I think the Iranian leadership is swimming against the currents of times in terms of the paradigm shift, in terms of that is now we are really witnessing the emergence of a post-ideological world, where people really focus now, whether in the Arab world, even in Saudi, whether in Iran, they focus on governance, they focus on empowerment, al-karama, dignity. These are the important issues, and these ultimately, Iranian civil society, as it has done since the constitutional revolution, will basically take back and determine its future in Iran.
Well, Fawaz, thank you, and let me say that we've had a great discussion. We've had a very lively discussion. We've had some great debate. I think you've heard about the full complexity of this issue and the importance of understanding the various dimensions that have to be understood, both at the popular level, at the military level. What to do about Iran will be with us even after Syria gets resolved. But please, all of you, join me in thanking Max, who we couldn't hear enough at all. Apologies for that. And the rest of the panel. Thank you. Thank you.